Ladies and gentlemen, Ruchiji Reaction, and this is What Are You by the channel Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. So, are you your body? And if so, how exactly does this work? Let's explore lots of confusing questions. This video is a part of collaboration with CGP Grey. Oh, okay, you are two, I think that was the video. The brain thing where if you cut from the middle, the two part of the brain acts as its own. Left side doesn't know what right side is saying, and vice versa. They make up things as they go to make sense of things. That was a great video. Yeah, consciousness is really complicated thing to figure it out. Some people even think that we might need to invent some kind of a smart AI in order to figure our own self, because our mind might be limited. Like, our mind figuring its own self is kind of a hard thing to do. Maybe that's why we need a smarter AI to figure that out, or something like that. People are thinking that. So consciousness is really hard thing to understand. Everybody's tackling this subject. We have no idea what consciousness is. So yeah, this video is going to be fun. I read quite a few Kurzgesagt videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the cards. There's a playlist I created for it. Check out the playlist too, like CGP Grey, Real Life Lore, Internet Historian, Only Sarcastic Production, things like that. And yeah, let's watch this one.
Are you your body? Well, kind of, right? But is there a line where this stops being true? How much of yourself can you remove before you stop being you? And does the question even make sense?
I think we are not our body. We are, some part of our brain that we are. I think just right combination of things makes us what we are. I guess if you change the combination even by a little, I guess that's so fragile that we cease to exist or something. It's really complicated, but obviously anything that we are is in our brain. I think if you transplant your own brain to somebody else's body, you'd get transported to, I guess, that person. Yeah, so whatever we are is inside our brain in some part. Everything else is just, can be changed, I guess. So we could literally take our brain and put it in somebody else's body, and we will be in that body, I guess.
Your physical existence is cells, trillions of them, at least 10 times more than there are stars in the Milky Way. A cell is a living being, a machine made of up to 50,000 different proteins. It has no consciousness, no will, no purpose, it just is. But it is still an individual. Together, your cells form huge structures for jobs like preparing food, gathering resources, transporting stuff around, scanning the environment, and so on. If you extract cells from your body and put them in the right environment, they will continue to stay alive for a while. So, your cells can exist without you. But you can't exist without them. If we take all the cells away, there is no you anymore. Is there a line where a pile of your cells stops being you? For example, if you donate an organ, billions of your cells will continue to live on inside someone else. Does this mean that a part of you became a part of another person? Or is this other body keeping a part of you alive? Or let us imagine an experiment. You and a random person from the street exchange cells. One at a time, your body gets one of their cells, their body gets one of your cells. At which point would they become you? Would they ever, or is this just a very slow and gross way to teleport?
Yeah, I think if you change or slowly, exchange cells of every part of your body successfully somehow, it will still be fine. But if you start to exchange cells from your brain, I think that's when you start to, I guess, not just transporting, I think you die in somewhere, because as soon as you, like I said, it's probably a very fragile thing, this combination of things in your brain. So if you start to disturb that, maybe you cease to exist. And it's, that thing I talked about, how that, Star Trek, that teleportation thing where literally you get deconstructed at the molecular level here and they get reconstructed somewhere else. I mean, maybe that's not you. Maybe you died when you got deconstructed, because obviously some combination in your brain just changed because you got deconstructed. And as soon as you reconstructs there, a new being came to life, because the combination might be a bit different, or I guess, there was a pause between the two things. So it's, I don't know, it's a weird thing to think, but I guess it's such a delicate thing that if you mess with it, you might cease to exist. Who the hell knows?
Support you. Let's make this more complicated. The image of ourselves as a static thing is untenable. Almost all of your cells have to die during your lifetime. 250 million have died since the beginning of this video alone. Between 1 and 3 million per second. In a 7-year period, most of your cells are replaced at least once. Every time your cell setup changes, you are slightly different than before, so a part of you is dying constantly. If you are lucky enough to become old, you will have cycled through roughly 1 billion cells. So what you
Oh
can...
God. So are you saying, I don't know much about this, changing cell. I don't know much science behind this. So are you saying even in our brain, all the cells are constantly changing in a certain period of time? If that's the case, what if there is a period of time where that's what makes you, dies when this cell's changing? And the new cells come, and that's somebody else, I guess, the new life that is coming inside you. But the new life doesn't realize that it's new, because that life still have all the past memory. So that life will think that that is you, but you just died, and some other life is now occupying your body. Like what we are right now, we might just be created in the last cell changing time or something. And we think that we've existed for so long time just because we have a memory. That's just weird, man.
Consider yourself is really just a snapshot. But sometimes cells are broken and don't want to die, questioning the very nature of the unity of our bodies. We call them cancer. They cancel the biological social contract and become basically immortal. Cancer is not an outside invader, it's a part of you that puts its own survival over yours. But you could also argue that a cancer cell becomes another entity inside us, another being that just wants to thrive and survive. Can we blame it for that? A chilling cell story is that of Henrietta Lacks, a young cancer patient who died in 1951. Usually, cells only survived for a few days in the lab, making research very hard. Henrietta's cancer cells were immortal. Over the decades, they were multiplied over and over again and used for countless research projects, saving countless lives. Henrietta's cells are still alive and overall have been grown to at least 20 tons of biomass. So there are living parts around the world from someone who has been considered dead for decades. How much of Henrietta is in these cells? What makes one of your cells you anyway? Maybe the information contained in it, your DNA. Until recently, it was believed that all the cells in your body had basically the same genetic code. But it turns out this is wrong. Your genome is mobile, changing over time through mutations and environmental influences. This is especially the case in your brain. According to recent discoveries, a single neuron in an adult brain has more than 1,000 mutations in its genetic code that are not present in the cells surrounding it. But how much you is your DNA really? About 8% of the human genome is made up of viruses that once infected our ancestors and merged with us. Mitochondria, power plants of the cell, once were bacteria that merged with the ancestors of your cells. They still have their own DNA. An average cell has hundreds of them, hundreds of little things that are not really human, but they still kind of are. It is confusing. Let's backtrack a bit.
Not really. It's I guess that they have their own DNA, but they also become part of us. So that DNA is also, I guess, sub-DNA and part of us. Who the hell knows? But I think our basically what we are is very delicate combination of things, and if it gets disturbed, I guess we die. Like I said, I feel like we are really fragile. And the way he says it, like all the cells change in certain time, like I don't know, it takes a long time, but basically all of your cell in your body changes at certain periods. What if the person that we are right now is going to be dead and another person is going to come to life during that time? And that person will not realize it because that person will have all the memory of the past person. It's just weird to think, but it's also frightening. Consciousness is just effed up, man. I hope we figure out one day, because it's really scary to think all these things.
We know that you're made up of trillions of little things, made from more little things that are constantly changing. Together, all those little things are not static but dynamic. Their composition and condition is changing constantly. So we might just be a self-sustaining pattern without clear borders that gained self-awareness at some point and now has the ability to think about itself through time and space, but really only exists in this exact very moment. Where did this pattern start? With your conception? When the first human arose? When life first began conquering our small planet? Or when the elements that make up your body were forged in a star? Our human brains evolved to deal with absolutes. The fuzzy borders that make up reality are hard to grasp. Maybe ideas like beginning and end, life and death, you and me, are really not absolutes, but ideas belonging to a fluent pattern, a pattern that is lost in this strange and beautiful universe. The problem of who we are
isn't just a question of our cells, but it's also a question of our minds. Just as our cells can be divided and separated from us, so can our very brains be divided and separated from us, while still in the skull. Click here to go to my channel and watch the next part.
Yeah, I think I already made a reaction to that video. Yeah, that was weird as well. Damn, this is just effed up. I know I'm keep talking about this and it might sound stupid, but what, a person lives like say 80, 90 years. A person lives that long. What if the person changes multiple times during their life? Like the cell changes, so just right pattern get disturbed and the first person dies and another person came in place. And that person doesn't realize that, it just began because it already has the memory of the past person. So the new person thinks that the same person. So what if during our life we die and the new being, new life takes over? And the life doesn't realize that the past person was somebody different because their life still have the past memories. It's just after to think all this thing. Because that's kind of thing that you can never prove. Because past life, whatever it was, is now dead. New life would not know any different because it would be identical and would have all the memories of the past life. That's just effed up. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't like and subscribe. Check out the reaction today. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast playlist. Check out the end cards. And I'll see you next time.